based on experiential learning and knowledge exchange through interactive sessions. Also, providing you with the opportunity to switch to a desired curriculum and interdisciplinary studies of your choice at any time. A broad spectrum of extracurricular activities like sports, dance, various clubs, and so on are available for you to pursue. Not just that, REVA also promises a fantastic university experience with a calm, peaceful, and diverse campus, encouraging students from all over the world. With state-of-the-art laboratories, latest sports facilities, well-equipped media centers, a library that fulfills its tag as an extensive knowledge bank, and hostels that make you feel at home with tasty food that's nutritious. The future is now easier with the light from some of the best minds and with friendships that last a lifetime. You now have the power to choose an outstanding future. REVA University, one association for many great careers.
Dear all, first of all, I wish safety and good health to you and your loved ones. Program. I now take this opportunity to introduce our eminent speaker, Brigadier Ck Ramesh, to the audience. Brigadier Ck Ramesh is an alumni of Bangalore Military School, now known as Rashtriya Military School. After completing school, he joined National Defence Academy, Pune, and was commissioned into Army, that is Maratha Light Infantry from Indian Military Academy, Dehradun in December 1981. During his service, he has attended a number of professional and educational courses, including the prestigious course at the Defence Services Staff College at Wellington, Ooty, where he was awarded MSc in Strategic and Defence Studies. Brigadier Ramesh, during his long and illustrious service of more than 35 years in the Army, and has served in operational areas like Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast states. He has served more than 12 years in Jammu and Kashmir and was actively involved in many operations under live firing on the line of control and carried out large number of successful counter-insurgency and anti-terrorist operations. In the eastern sector, he has the unique distinction of serving in all the states spread over 6.5 years and was actively involved in insurgency operations and operations along LAC in high altitude areas. For his distinguished and exemplary performance, he was awarded the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Card. Brigadier Ramesh has also done many important appointments in the peace areas. As Chief Operations Officer, he has played a valuable role in providing assistance to civil administration, police, NGOs, and the media during crisis situations like Mumbai floods of 2005 and multiple bomb blasts in the Mumbai local trains in 2006. As Commandant, Maratha Light Infantry Regimental Center, Belgaum, he was responsible for planning, directing, and execution of training to transfer more than 3,000 raw civilian boys into well-trained, motivated soldiers by teaching the military norms, fighting skills, and altering their mindset. During this tenure, he was also the president of Only Cantonment Board in Karnataka and was responsible for civic administration of entire cantonment area. In his own way, Brigadier Ramesh has also been an academician, having been chairman of 2 Kendriya Vidyalayas and 2 army public schools at different locations. As president of Services Selection Board at Bhopal, he was responsible to select officers for induction into the army by conducting personality and intelligence tests for over 9,000 candidates. Thank you, sir.
At the outset, I would like to thank the School of Civil Engineering uh, REVA University for the opportunity that you all have given me to be uh, addressing you all on this topic of opportunities for the defense services, for the civil engineers in defense services. Talking to the future of this nation, because we look upon them to uh, take the country forward. So it's in my humble way, I would like to contribute in whatever way to this endeavor. I would like to thank Mrs. Meenakshi Mishra for those kind words. Actually, it's always amusing when I hear this introduction, because even in the wildest of dreams, we never think that we would be speaking about those operations or those activities that we have done there. Because when the operations are on or when the action is on, we are only worried about the task and task alone, along with, of course, our safety, the safety of our men, our command, and above all, the safety of the very idea of nation or India. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most important ethos of armed forces. We live by that. And those who are potential members of this organization have to bear in mind that you have to live by this ethos. Today being a human resource topic, there's another important ethos of armed forces, and that I'm just flashing it. You can read it for yourself. It's an ethos of equality. It's very, very important for us, because we strongly believe in equal opportunity for everyone and pure merit, irrespective of the caste, creed, region, or whatever it is. Not because of anything else. The primary reason, our survival depends on that. We don't know who our buddy is going to be. It will be that person who would be saving us at the crucial time. It is on that faith that he will never leave us behind that we go ahead. It is that faith, that confidence, that be it the minefield that you are lying, be it the crevasse in the high altitude or in the Siachen glacier, that we are very, very sure that you will not be left behind. I'm sure you would have heard about there's what's his name? Hanumantappa, Lance Nayak Hanumantappa, sometime back, about 2 years back, when he was recovered from 8 to 10 feet of snow and he was evacuated. That is the spirit of armed forces. And those who can live by this, it's a fantastic organization. That's all I can say. Today I will be covering the lecture. Initially, I will just tell you all why should you go for a career in armed forces? What does it hold for you? And then what are the various options of entering the armed forces? Followed by the selection process and the perks and privileges, and how do you prepare for joining the armed forces. Now, consideration for any career selection. I don't claim to be a career counselor. I'm sure you would be addressed by a lot of your experts, professional career counselors who would be guiding you how to select a career. But I mean, from my own experience, I would like to say certain points that you should keep whenever you are considering a career for yourself. Firstly, is the academic skill. Yes, definitely. Academic skill is most important. You need to be good in your stream that you are selected, and that depends on your selection of the career. The next one I would say is any other skill development or your aptitude, your interest, your uh, your uh, the skills that you have learned over a period of time. The next is your ambition, your goal in life. What is it? What do you want to be? Where do you want to be after a few years? So please keep that in mind. That's very, very important. And if armed forces is not your goal, I don't think you should be looking for it. Personality or your attitude towards various things, and very, very important, your I mean, it's so important that we have 5 days testing process in form of SSB. So please uh, keep that in mind. It's very, very important that you have the right attitude. Uh, you must consider your employment barriers. What do I mean by that? There could be certain circumstances. For example, let us say there could be someone who cannot move out of Bangalore for next 10 years. Obviously, armed forces will not be a choice for him or her. So, those barriers need to be considered when you are selecting your career. Yeah, definitely retirement benefit is also a consideration that you must uh, look into when you are uh, selecting your career, your future, subsequent after your career. What does it offer? Okay. Okay. Before that, what do you get when you join the armed forces? I mean, you should be aware of it. I think I need not explain this. Bravery, excitement. What is bravery? I'm sure you all must have heard of Captain Vikram Batra of Kargil fame, a young officer who, in his excitement, said "Dil mange more" after having completed his first operation, first attack. I mean, what is it other than bravery or excitement? So it's nothing but uh, uh, these qualities that you need to have in plenty. Honor, pride. I mean, uh, the photo which projected the smart officer receiving that salute. Imagine the pride. In this case, I think it's a lady officer. She would be having when she receives or gives that salute. It's fantastic, I can assure you that. Challenges, plenty of them, daily. Tons. I mean, here again, the recent, I'm sure you would have seen this picture, ship. This is a picture of INS Kochi, which was involved in saving people who met with that accident of ONGC barge. I mean, I'm sure it was there in the news recently. You all must have seen it. A thumbs up from the people getting down from the ship, or a salute, just a salute, or a shake hand with the crew. Just imagine the emotion that must have been going through them when they were rescued from the sea, in the sea for 24 hours, 48 hours. And those are the challenges that armed forces face on routine basis. Okay, why join the armed forces? I am going to list it out under two heads. First is tangible and second is intangible. I'll start with intangible. Not because of anything, it is more important that uh, you uh, have greater value, because intangible uh, benefits give us more satisfaction. So uh, I'm listing out that first. Before that, I just want to highlight another aspect, important aspects. It's not that armed forces, there's a myth, I would say, that armed forces is not very popular amongst the youth of this country, which I don't think is absolutely right. Yes, the awareness might be slightly less, particularly from southern part, and to that extent, I must compliment the organizers for this webinar, because it there is a lack of awareness, particularly from this part, southern part of the country. But it's not less popular, and it's not me who is saying that. It is what the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, which conducts selection of government employees, their annual report says. There are two criteria to identify popularity of a career. First is the applicant to the post ratio, number of applicants for each post, and by any standards for armed forces it is highest. That is, I'm talking about only the UPSC related exam entrance, that is NDA and CDS, Combined Defense Service Exam. If you take the other entries, I'm sure the ratio will increase much more. The second aspect is the uh, the success or selection rate. And let me tell you, the selection rate, particularly an exam like National Defense Academy, is the least. It's much less than even civil service. That is a reality. And this is not possible if it wasn't popular. So understand that it's a very, very popular career option. You need to go find out about it. You need to put in that effort. Okay. So as now coming to the reason why you must join. Firstly, some intangible ones. Early career of you at 21, 22, you are a class 1 gazetted officer with tremendous responsibilities. I mean, imagine the responsibility of that young captain, Captain Vikram Batra, who was leading his company, strength of about 100 men, to capture that towering height. The entire nation was looking up to him. And what was his age? 25, 26, that's about all. Or imagine that, uh, uh, the young officer who is flying the latest Rafale. Imagine the responsibility he has got. So it's a tremendous responsibility at a very, very young age. Keep that in mind. The respect, honor, pride. Tremendous. I can even tell you today that when I say that I'm a retired officer from the armed forces, the respect, the honor I get is tremendous. Let it be any field, be it on the road from the police, be it a shop, be it anyone. I mean, just for that respect, I'm willing to go through the same life again. That is a reality. Invaluable service to the nation during war and peace. It's a great opportunity to serve the nation. I mean, I'll just give you a personal example. I was interviewing a candidate during the SSB when I was the president there. It was, a candidate came. So I asked him, why do you want to join the armed forces or army? He was an army cadet. The response he gave, he was from Uttarakhand, and the the devastating floods had taken place a few years back. He said, sir, as I had no idea about army, or I had no idea of thought of joining the defense force, but we were devastated. We were cut off. We had nothing for ourselves. But the next day we heard that army has come there. The entire village, the entire population, the sense of relief that we felt just by hearing that an organization like army has come there to rescue us. We are very, very positive. We are very relieved. And that is when the boy was telling me, that is when I realized there must be something in this organization. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the armed forces do to this country. And that is why I urge you all to experience this and join the armed forces. Camaraderie and team spirit, fantastic. Unmatched, 24/7. After retirement, whether on leave, whether on duty, it does not matter. I told you, it develops because you know your life depends on him and his life depends on you. So it's fantastic, unmatchable. A true nationalist and secular in its true words. I'm sure you must have heard of this word, dharam, sarv dharm sal. In our units, in army units, where troops from different religion, from different caste, communities, they are serving together. Yes, there is a religious place. It's a common religious place. It's called Sarva Dharma Sthal. There on one side is a temple, other side is a masjid, another side could be a church or gurudwara, whatever, depending on the composition of the troops. And we walk in, wherever we go, we pray, come back. When there is a function, everyone joins there, faces that God that is there on that day, and we all pray. That's it. There are occasions. Suppose the Panditji of that mandir is on leave. The Malviji takes over. He does the puja. And there's nothing, it's just a very common thing. So, that is a secular feeling that you develop. If you want that feeling, please join. Come, join us. Quality of life, I don't know how to explain it, but unmatched. I don't know if any of you have been to the Makri Circle Headquarter Training Command or near Damlur, that side. There is ASC Center and College. If you have ever entered that, you will know what I am talking about. The quality of life, it's a different environment. You enter from Makri Circle, you will realize, are you in this country? Because of the environment, the quality of life, everything depends. How we'll be talking in detail about that. Develop a well-rounded personality for yourself and your family, your children. No wonder we have so many Fauji brats, as they like to call themselves, doing so well in life. Hundreds of them. It is because of the personality development that takes place because of all these things. Okay, now I'll bring out certain tangible. I'm not saying that they are not important or they are less important, but I would strongly state that if your intangible ones are more important for you, you are the right material. Right career progression, you can go on to become the chief of the service that you have joined, chief of army staff, chief of air staff, that is general, air chief marshal, whatever it is. And you have enough opportunity to pursue whatever interests you have, be it adventure, be it games, sports, unlimited opportunities. Opportunity for higher studies and foreign assignments. Higher studies, you go, I'm sure today also you go to Indian Institute of Science or IIM, you will find a couple of armed forces officers doing some course or the other, pursuing their higher studies. Foreign assignments, UN mission, all the embassies, foreign missions have got a defense attaché. A great opportunity to carry out, do a foreign mission, foreign assignments. You can acquire different types of skills. Physical, definitely, what our Honorable Director just mentioned. Physical, yes, you might be there. You can develop it. The mental, your courage, your discipline, your etiquettes, all these things you can really develop. Management, armed forces is the bedrock of management. I can vouch for it. Job security, plenty of it, yes. If that is important, that's also available. Salary, perks, facilities, lot of it, we'll talk about it later. Post-retirement benefits, what I mentioned, best. I don't think any other organization is giving what the armed forces give you. It's one of the, I think, only government service still where the pensions are available after the introduction of LPC. Okay, now having talked about why we must join the armed forces, let's now see how to enter it, how to, very, very important. There's a feeling that there is a deficiency of officers in the armed forces. But in fact, deficiency is more in the support cadre. There's a regular cadre and a support cadre. Regular cadre is basically those entries through which, through the UPSC entrance exam and few other cadres permanent commission. They are slightly younger age. All the entries, 10+2 entries are also main cadre. The support cadre is primarily the short service commission who come, serve for a few years and go out looking for better opportunities. So there is a deficiency, but deficiency is more in the, because MDA does not generally go undersubscribed. The UPSC entrances generally are not undersubscribed. Okay, now what now I am going to tell you is nothing from my side. It is there. These are the links. Please go through in detail and find out your own choice, your own likings, desires. I'll start with Army. How I intend to cover this is, I'm going to be showing some tables. In that, I have given out all the options that you have got. Not only you, all the options that is there in the, for entry into the services. But I highlighted those which are really applicable to you all as civil engineers. Other things I just kept it for those who are of interest. It might be not for you, for your other near and dear ones. If you are interested, you can find out. But I am not. What is in bold is what is applicable to you. Again, to make the table easy for you to understand, keep in mind there is a 10+2 entry, NDA, TS, all the three services I've got. I will not be discussing that. There is uh, a UPSC entry, that is Combined Defence Services exam, which is common across the board, all the three services, held twice a year by the UPSC. That being the primary entry, that is a type of entry. There are few other entries which are for which the services conduct written exam, basically in Air Force and Navy. Air Force conducts Air Force Common Admission Test, AFCAT, and Navy conducts INET, Indian Navy Entrance Test. Army does not have a in-house test. Yes, they use the UPSC or CDS platform for their short service commission. Just keep this in mind. I know I'm going slightly fast for someone who is just not aware, but in case if you go through the website, I'm sure you'll understand it. The various entries for the Army, I told you, all those highlighted are what is applicable to you all. The IMA, Indian Military Academy, direct entry through the CDS is applicable for you all, and twice a year it is conducted. Same exam, as I said, Army conducts the short service commission entry also with the same combined defense services exam. Actually, there are 4 options, 4 choices in CDS: Army, Navy, Air Force, and 4th one is short service commission. These all are permanent commission. Then there is NCC entry. NCC, again, let me tell you, especially it's an option there for men as well as women. Keep this as a last option. NCC should not be a first desire to join, because that is it is for those people due to some reason they are not able to clear the written exam, but they have the potential. It is to tap in that. So try your level best to clear the written exam, that is CDS exam, those who are really interested. The US entry, university entry scheme, it was there. Presently it is suspended. When it's open, you will be told. As at present, that entry is not there, it is under suspension. Then there is this TGC, Technical Graduate Course. This again applicable to you all. Yes, in this, please keep in the notification, you must see whether civil stream is there or not, because in the notification they clarify what all streams are eligible. Sometimes it may not be there, sometimes it might be. So these are permanent commission. Then there is short service commission, again technical, same. But again, for these, the written exam is not there. You apply directly to the Army headquarters, and based on you are shortlisted and sent to SSB. Okay. There are few entries which are not applicable to you. There is a Territorial Army, again a very, very good entry for someone who has passion but who has something else also to do. These are for those people who are working. You are selected, you are sent for training, and then every year you go for training. And your age bracket is very high, up to 42 you can try for this. It could be any job that you are doing. The last one is service entry. Service entry is for those who are already in the army, armed forces, as a sipai, as a jawan, and they also can try to become an officer. There are entries. Yes, I mean, I'm highlighting this because there could be some circumstances for some of you. It could be family condition, it could be a financial condition, that in case you get an opportunity, you would like to join as a sipai. No harm, you still can become an officer. It's a very good option for someone who has some problem, economic, financial, social, whatever the problem might be, and decides to join the armed forces as at a lower rank, not a non-officer rank. You can still, and there are many of them who have become officers through this entry. There are my classmate who, I mean, ran away from home. I'm talking about in 70s. He went and joined army, and then you got in through the ACC entry. So options are there. Don't get disappointed. Okay. Now, next for women, again a very good option. I mean, I don't want to highlight because frankly these days we get much I mean, none of the women courses are undersubscribed. We get very good quality of women candidate. In fact, the competition is more for the women entry, not in number but definitely in quality. So ladies, go ahead, it's your world, and they can you can only grow. I spoke about the Short Service Commission. It's through the CDS, same exam as of gentlemen. Then equivalent of that SSC Short Service Commission Technical, there's a same entry for the women also. NCC entry is also there for you. There are a few other streams wherein you can, but that may not be, as a civil engineer, you may not be eligible. Okay. Now coming to Air Force. Air Force, it's a main thing is flying branch, the mainstream. They are, I mean, the main job is to fly, but lot of support streams are also there. They, as I mentioned, their basic is through the NDA, UPSC and CDSC, that is Combined Defense Service Exam. For all other entrants, you have to write Armed Force AFCAT exam, Armed Force Air Force Common Admission Test. So please look into that. The entries, as I mentioned, NDA, CDS for men, NCC for both men and women. For women, it's restricted to Short Service Commission. That's what it implies. For NCC, please keep in mind, for all, their respective C certificate is mandatory. Okay. The AFCAT is basically the flying branch. It is Short Service Commission for all. So through AFCAT, you can join the flying branch only as Short Service Commission. Then ground duty technical, which is not applicable to, yes, ground duty non-technical branches. Again, for women, for men, both short service and permanent commission is there, but for women, it's restricted to short service. And you have got only two streams, that is administrative and logistics as a civil engineer. Accounts, education, meteorology, not applicable to you all. Now coming to Navy. Navy has got a lot of different streams, but basic premise is the same. NDA, they have got a separate Naval Academy also, and the CDS. They have got number of streams. Whichever is of interest to you, please go into the details and find out about it. The first three, as I said, are the cadet entries, that is NDA and 10+2 TES. This is this technical entry scheme. I mean, though not applicable for you all, it's a very good stream for those of your younger siblings or anyone who are interested in this after their 12th class. It's a very good entry. Okay, this is the same comment what I mentioned, CDS entries. You can select any of the streams that I'll be showing subsequently. This is a permanent commission. These are the streams. Executive, they are the backbone. They command the ships. In that they can specialize to hydrography if you want. There is naval architecture. Another, I mean, I highlighted civil engineering because it's a very, very good option for you all. Very interesting. You all, and it's not only in the Navy, it is across the globe. This this specialization is in great demand. It's an excellent opportunity. Those who are interested in flying in the Navy, maritime reconnaissance and non-maritime reconnaissance, MR. MR are those who fly on recce, fixed wing. Non-MR are those who fly helicopters, those who fly the fighters in Navy. For there is a slight leeway for if you're already a CPL holder, you get extra age is slightly more entrance. Okay. Now the observers are those who take care of all the systems in on board. You can apply for that. Logistics and works, your backbone, your UPS, your USP, the works, civil engineers preferred. So you have got logistics as well as works. ATC, again, air traffic controllers. These are some other which actually your civil engineers does not have the option of joining these streams: information technology, technical general service branch, that is engineering and electrical, submarine, naval armament, inspectorate, naval armament inspectorate cadre, education, law, yes, sports, in case you are a national, you are represented, participated in any national level, you can join as an officer in Navy. Women, as I said, is the same streams, but I compiled them, and these are the entries that you all can join. As a civil engineer, it's only the first 5 which are highlighted or which are in bold. The other law, education are not applicable for you all. Those 3 in blue depicts the recent government order in which they have approved granting permanent commission to the officers: naval architecture, law and education. So naval architecture, as I said, is a double bonus. As such, it's a much in demand sought after stream, and secondly, for women ladies, it is a permanent commission. So please find out more about it, and I would suggest that try. I just want to bring to your notice that there are some other options wherein you can, I mean, till now what I mentioned to us in the armed forces. Now I just want to highlight that there is an option of working with the armed forces without being in it. This is through the engineering service examination of UPSC. There's a preliminary exam, there's a main exam, and thereafter you join organizations which are closely working with armed forces. What are those organizations? Military Engineering Service, MES. There is Border Road Organizations. There is Survey of India. So you can join these organizations if you think you, for some reason, you cannot join the armed forces directly. You have a close interaction with these organizations. It is, I'm saying there are more services, but I just shortlisted what is applicable to the civil engineers. Indian Defence Service of Engineers. This is the executive branch of Military Engineering Service. QSNC is a surveyor cadre where they formulate the design and contracting. Quality service and quantity service and contract. Then you can join as a civil engineer in the Border Roads Organization, constructing roads, real challenging environment. Survey of India is another option that you have got. Okay, now since we are running short of time, I'll quickly go through the selection process. As I said, the main you apply to UPSC for the, or the service, concerned service for the internal examination, written examination. If there is no written exam, apply to the service headquarters. Based on your performance there, whether written exam or your performance eligibility criteria of your application, you will be shortlisted and you would be sent to Services Selection Board. Services Selection Board consists of two stages. Stage 1, which is screening, broad screening, and stage 2, which is on the first day. Stage 1 is on the first day, and remaining 4 days you are put through the psychological test, group test, and interview. There are 3 different techniques to identify the officer-like qualities which have been. There are 15 officer-like qualities. It is there on net. It is everywhere. You can go through it. All the 3 you assess by 3 independent assessors: a psychologist, a interviewing officer, and a ground testing officer. The process is Mansa Vacha Karmana. Mind, Mansa, subconscious mind. Vacha is words, your conscious mind, and Karmana is your action on ground in a group. These 3 assessors assess you for those 15 OLQs and recommend you. Or if you find your personality suits the armed forces, it is not pass or fail, it is recommendation. Whether your personality suits armed forces, you are recommended. If your personality does not suit, it is you are not recommended. It's a pure test of personality. It's not your test of knowledge, it's not test of your skill or anything. It is combination of all this: skill, personality, your aptitude, your ability. That is what it is. There is, for flyers, there is erstwhile PABT, what you must have heard as PABT. Now it is called CPSS, Computerized Pilot Selection System. This is only applicable for flyers, and you should know that this test is given once in a lifetime. This test is applicable only for Air Force flying branch. Those who get recommended go through the medicals, Army and Navy SSBs conduct the medical immediately after the SSB once you are recommended, whereas Air Force gives you fresh date and they call you subsequently. Okay, now quickly I am not going to discuss this, just for your information. What I said is the perks and privileges that you have. I am not going to discuss this. Stipend you get from your training period, I can assure you your basic salary is about 56,000. You have got military service pay about 15-16,000. You have got the dearness allowance. I would say when you join, you can expect anything from 80 to 90,000. Then there are allowances. Depending, if you are a flyer, you get flying allowance. If you are in high altitude, you get high altitude allowance. And actually, you cannot calculate the CTC for armed forces. It is, but if you want to do it, I can assure it is double your salary. Definitely, it will touch 2 lakhs comfortably. You get entitled ration. It goes towards CTC. Okay. Promotion, medical. You have free medical, not only for you, your family. Insurance. Your leave. No other organization gives you 60 days of annual leave and 20 days of casual leave. You get a couple of free travel allowance or facility, and thereafter some concessional travels also permitted during the leave. Education. I already told you about higher education. You can take study leave for 2 years with full perks and enhance your qualification. Best education facility for your children, I can assure you. Quality of life, I mentioned games, sports, think of it. Subsidized housing in a very, very good environment. For your permanent, group housing schemes are there. You get subsidized canteen facilities and best clubs and officers' messes in the station. And last but not the least is a post-retirement benefit unmatched. Okay, how do you prepare for it? I can we have got this Cavalier Guidance Institute very close to your college, university at Cotonou. That's the head office. They have got branches all across. Excellent institution, gives you comprehensive guidance. The contact numbers are there, the website is there, you can approach them anytime. And what you can take a comprehensive guidance from them, starting from counseling on career awareness, especially about the armed forces. They'll assist you in e-filing your applications, prepare you for the written exam wherever it is applicable, all the written exams. The SSB, I think by far the best facility that is there. Excellent guidance, not teaching you, developing your personality. Outdoor training area to match the SSB requirements. As I said, it does have SSB does have outdoor tests. I can vouch that their training facilities are as good as, if not better than, some of the actual facilities in the SSB. Personality development, yes, they don't expect you to know. They don't make, especially in the SSB, they develop your personality. They help you, they guide you in this the erstwhile PABT, CPSS. I finished. Before I conclude, I just want to flash a picture of a civil engineer. A civil engineer who is now flying his Mirage aircraft, fighters, a type of Mirage, earlier version of Rafale. He was involved in the operations, and he is serving in the Indian Air Force. You can see him with his aircraft Mirage. He is a civil engineer, Flight Lieutenant Dhruv Nambia, and it is this picture which gives me the liberty to say that civil engineers can be an excellent armed forces officer, because Flight Lieutenant Dhruv Nambia happens to be my son. With that, I have finished.